Right after she left, Brianna's mother, Tamika Palmer, did post on Facebook saying, quote, "To be clear, these charges were not for Breonna Taylor, but nevertheless, he should have been found guilty." In a statement critical of the verdict posted on Twitter, Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer writes, while the case was not specific to Breonna Taylor's death, she should not have died that night, and for many, justice still has not been achieved. The mayor goes on to say Metro government remains focused on ensuring this never happens again. LMPD out tonight saying the events of March 13, 2020 are still painful for many, and since then they've prioritized rebuilding trust with the communities they serve. They add they respect the judicial process and know that there are potentially more proceedings ahead. And all new on the WHS 11 at Night team, reaction tonight. We talked with U of L law professor Sam Markison. He has been following the Breonna Taylor case closely, saying this verdict is hard to understand.
I think that there was powerful evidence presented that the actions that night by Officer Hankison were contrary to his training, that they were contrary to best practices, and that they recklessly endangered people there that night, including his own fellow officers.
In Hankison's termination letter right here from June 2020, then interim chief Rob Schroeder wrote, quote, "I find your conduct a shock to the conscience. You have never been trained by the Louisville Metro Police Department to use deadly force in this fashion." Schroeder also wrote Hankison wantonly and blindly fired 10 rounds into the apartment. Tonight, retired judge from Louisville, Janice Martin, told us those actions meet the definition of wanton endangerment.
We have an individual who fires into a sliding door and an obscured window without physically identifying a target, which is very disturbing because that typically to me meets all of the criteria for wanton endangerment.
Janice Martin saying she has several questions about the case, including why police were there in the first place and why there was a no-knock warrant.